All right, so I'm Kyrie, and I'm going to start off our little trio with, then why don't you mean what you say? The March Hare added. I do. Or at least I say what I mean. That's the same thing, isn't it? Not, said Alice. Not the same thing at all, said the Mad Hatter. You might as well say that I see what I eat is the same as I eat what I see. Lewis Carroll really eloquently, in his seminal work Alice in Wonderland, points out the importance of word choice and the importance of meaning what we say and saying what we mean. And today we've talked a lot about stigma, and I definitely was going to define it if someone hadn't, but we all know at this point the beautiful Greek definitions of stigma and the different permutations culturally. And so when we think about stigma, it lives a lot in our words. And our words are one of the main forms of communication that we have with one another. And there's lots of process work and body language and messages underneath, but we get really hung up on words, especially with stigma. They're what sting. They're what we hold. So I want to challenge you guys today to think about what you say. What does it mean? What are you trying to mean? And in shifting your language, thinking about the effect that that'll have not only on your own perspective, but on how others hear you. And this, by all means, is not a goal, but a process. I think being in the field we're in, we've all been given a list of new words that won't hurt people's feelings anymore, or that'll reduce stigma, only for them to adapt the exact same hurtful meanings that their predecessors had. They were just a replacement. They didn't change anything. So this is very much, a process and not a goal and an evolution. So I work with elders. I don't work with the elderly or old people, because to me, an elder denotes someone who has wisdom, who moves at a different pace, who I can learn from. So that word works for me to describe the people that I spend my time with. And then I'm sitting and doing being, we're with elders, or being with elders. The elders I work with experience forgetfulness. And here there's two more word choices. Nadira talked a lot about forgetfulness, and I've chosen to adapt it as well. And I try to only use it when it's actually describing what's happening then and there. And experiencing is another word that I've recently adapted. When I say someone's experiencing something, even if we use some of the diagnosing words that we've had before, that doesn't mean that it's a life sentence. It doesn't mean it's something that's always been that way. It means in that moment, that's what's happening. So if I'm experiencing depression, I'm sad right now. And I think we've all been there. But if I'm depressed, or I have depression, or some of the bigger words, I am schizophrenic, then that's all that person is. So I choose experiencing there. So those are just two examples of words that I use. So I just want to challenge you guys to find a coworker, find a friend, and start to listen to what other people say and pick up, I really like the way that felt. Use your imagination, try stuff out. It'll definitely slow down your speech. I know it slows down mine, and I'm constantly editing in my head and having to practice my yogi mind of not judging myself for that. But it starts to shift my internal perspective, and when I am with elders, I'm being with them from a humanistic and existential perspective, and this is the best way I found to cultivate that. And so I challenge you to mean what you say what you mean.